Good question, sir. So if we're Pete's, we are repeating. Where exactly are we? I'll show you the chart now. So we're right here. This is 2020. You see that? So we're in this part here where Bitcoin goes up. Okay, so Bitcoin went up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Actually, the 7th month of April, it was actually a green month. You remember that was the top of altcoins, pretty much. It was April to May. So markets went up for 7 months. You didn't have 7 green candles specifically here for Bitcoin. This one was around here. So that's what we're doing right now. So we have 1, 2, 3. But more specifically, you probably want to know, right? So you've said it's similar to like, you're asking what's the chart pattern, what's the percentage growth. Percentage growth, be careful because they're diminishing over time, right? That's why we just have to take whatever the market gives us. What I can do now is just show you the others BTC ratio, which is right here. So if you go back, this is what like is repeating, okay? See this vertical line? This is Bitcoin halvening year, 2016, and then it hits 2017, and then we have big Altseason 1 and big Altseason 2, okay? So you have Altseason 1, Bitcoin takes over, Altseason 2, all right? That is, and then look what happened as well. In 2020 now, this was Bitcoin halvening. Then we had DeFi season, so don't worry about that. That's what happened. But look what ends up happening now. If you see this date, look at that. It is exactly January 2021. So we move into the new year, and then we have Altseason 1. Now, unfortunately, this is the sad part. Bitcoin takes over, but it's because everything is dropping now. You see, back in 2016, in this period, what I can do now is I can show you BTC kept rallying. So I'll show you the new price scale. Look at this. So Bitcoin here, this was a $2,700 Bitcoin. It goes up, and look what happens right here. So I'll show you exactly at this moment of time. Let's actually move these right together. There you go. Exactly at this moment of time, altcoins, they go sideways here. But if you follow the purple line, Bitcoin goes up from 2,700. Now you can look at the left-hand side. Now it's at 5,000. And now it's at 7,000, and it runs up to 20K. So yeah, that sucks, right? That's why 2021, it screwed a lot of us. Where are we now? We all got mogged. We got mogged very hard, because what you can do is you can actually see in the Bitcoin price chart, Bitcoin went down so much it couldn't recover because of China's scam Bitcoin ban, right? So the theme was the same, where it's altcoins have a season and you have to exit. The problem though is Bitcoin's strength only showed itself as everything was cratering to zero. Everything dropped 70% here, which is sad, right? Very, very sad. But if we go back and continue, right? We go back and continue and we move along here. Remember, that's 2 cycles, yeah? So another way to think about it is, in 2016, that cycle, the right thing to do was to sell your altcoins into Bitcoin in that first Altseason wave. Then when we moved to 2021, the right thing to do was to sell your altcoins into US dollars. Okay, but then you're probably wondering, hey, Sommi, what about the very first cycle? The very first cycle, the right move was to sell into US dollars as well. Yeah, so you can actually see, but we just don't have a Bitcoin dominance for it now because there were no altcoins. Bitcoin was 99% of the industry. You just had Litecoin pretty much. You had Litecoin, some other junk out here. So that's, if you want to know, where are we now? Where are we now? What I'm going to do now is just show you. See, this is it. This is the Altseason wave up here. What you can do is I can actually change this just so it's like orange. Remember, orange for Bitcoin. And that is our Altseason wave. So where are we now? So these, what I have, see, these are fractals. They are just based off the days moved to the past, but they don't actually like start assuming the new year has ticked over. That's actually the craziest part of the Bitcoin cycle. So the year after the Bitcoin halvening, everything just goes up. That's it. It starts January, that's it. Get ready to pump. Okay, that's the absolute maniac part about it. I'm showing you now Ethereum back in 2016. Look what happened here. We ticked over to January 2017, Ethereum starts going up straight away. So, you know, Bitcoin halvening was somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. We tick over. Look at this. Hits 2017. It just starts going up. Crazy, man. So that's where we are right now, sir. 2025 will be that big year. But we just never knew. It's repeating exactly the same. So if I go back now and I show you all of this together, where are we now? Okay, I'll remove this Bitcoin chart but now you can just see I even have the two fractals here. So we're running behind if you go off the Bitcoin halvenings. Okay, because the Bitcoin halvening is not exactly 4 years, it's 3.80 years. Every Bitcoin halvening. It's not like full 4 years. The global liquidity cycle, that's the thing that's most important. That's where the 4 years comes from. Okay. So where do we actually move from here? Well, obviously just we go up, but if, like I said, it repeats again, somewhere up here, there's an Altseason Wave 1, come back down, Altseason Wave 2, something like that. Okay. So yes, we're waiting for that up part resurrection. That's what we're waiting for now. Remember, a lot of people have said it's never happening because, you know, this others BTC, it actually went back above the zone. It actually started drowning. Remember this part? It started drowning wildly, so it went down here. So looking at that all together, that is where we are, exactly where we are. We're heading into the 2025 year, which is traditionally, you know, it means, okay, Bitcoin, you have now showed us what you can do. I'll bring up the Bitcoin chart once again right now. It's Mr. Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart, okay? This is 2025. So Bitcoin, you show us what you can do. And somewhere around here for Altseason 1 and Altseason 2. Okay, that's why I have like Mark 1 and Mark 2 here. I'm just going to move these out a bit forward. Something like that. But you just... This is the thing. We know there's... Okay, no. There's always like... There's two waves. But you don't know how big they're going to be. Okay, that's the most important part. And there is some nuance with the timing as well. So each alt season peaked exactly 12 months after the Bitcoin halvening. Exactly to the month. So if that repeats again, you have a peak April 2025. That's why the scary thing is going to be when we peak next year, the first wave, is it going to be the end like it was here? Is it going to be the end, or is it going to be a continuation like it was in 2016? Okay, like this year. See, this year, alt seasons peaked right here, but look what happens. Bitcoin went up again. Now, I'm making a guess. I don't know the future. I'm just guessing. Okay, I'm here to mog everybody who's a non-believer as well. But Donald Trump was president during this time. And then Bitcoin went for the second leg. I know this is just my guess. I don't take this to the grave. I don't know if it's going to work, okay? Don't hold a water pistol to my head, please, please. Don't. I don't know, but if I had to pick, if you made me pick, you go, Sommi, you got to pick one. Are we going to, when we have that first Altseason wave and we stop, is it going to be time to rotate into Bitcoin or rotate into US dollars? Because everything's screwed. I'm going to guess it's Bitcoin. I'm going to guess. Just because Donald Trump's back. The living meme himself. That's what was able to be done during the last time he was president here. You know? So if you're curious, sir, Mr. Petey Pete's, and everyone else listening, what could it look like? Just guessing. It could look like something like this. It goes up here. Bitcoin goes up to like 130. There's a big alt season up here. Then there's like this 30% crash that scares everyone, okay? Because this is over 100K, right? Just guessing, man. Let's say it comes back down, there's 30%, back down to $80,000. Right here, 30% drop. Everyone thinks it's over. Just like everyone thought it was over here. See, that's a 30% drop. Maybe that's what happens. Everyone thinks it's over. And then we go for the big one. Bang, like that. Okay, and yes. And that's Altseason Wave number 2. So you have number 1 and number 2, okay? Scary though, because like, yeah, you got to understand the nuances as well. In the past cycle here, the altcoins that rallied were different here. Okay, so this was alt set A and this is B. Okay, they were different. They were different from each other. Okay, 2 Altseason waves. Now, if you're curious, you go, hey, Sommi, can we go back to 2016 cycle? Let's talk about what altcoins did back then. Yes, I can tell you what they did back then. So even though we had this running up and there's 2 alt seasons, I'm going to show you what most altcoins did in 2017, and it was the ETH BTC pattern. Most of them did this. So they had a big wave up, Altseason Wave 1. They come back down, and then in the end, they have another retracement. Another big retracement. Okay, that's what it looks like. Actually, let's look on a regular chart. Yeah, so they have a big retracement. It doesn't go all the way and break the high, but it's good enough. Okay, it is good enough when you think about it. And actually, what we can do is we can have a look at XRP BTC chart. Interesting as well. That's what it did in 2016 cycle. This is 2017 Altseason Wave 1, Altseason Wave 2. You see how they do a double top? They come back down, they do a double top. Let's look at like Monero BTC. What did Monero do? XMR. See, Monero had Altseason Wave 1 here, and then Altseason Wave 2. Look at this. This is actually wild what it did. So it was actually good. It lets you out again. Okay. What about, I think EOS was too late. Let's look at, I was going to look at Tron, but you can't. Tron only arrived late. It only arrived in 2018. Same as Cardano, I think. If you look at Cardano, let's see what Cardano did. Cardano, once again, Cardano only came at the end of that cycle. So Cardano and Tron came at the end of that cycle. Let's look at Litecoin, for example. Litecoin's a good example here. Let's see what Litecoin did. Litecoin in 2017, here you go. It had Altseason Wave 1, Altseason Wave 2. Altcoins did a double top on their BTC ratios. You know, some equal, some a bit higher, some a bit lower. So if I'm just going to guess, just guessing, it might be that same as well. It might be, let's look at an example. Let's use like a microcosm of an example. Let's just look at Ethereum. Maybe Ethereum we have here. Okay. We'll actually have it. We'll bring it right now. So just guessing, sir. Just guessing. Well, I'm going to use the Ethereum chart here. Let's say Ethereum has, this is 2025. It has like Altseason Wave 1, come back down, Altseason Wave 2, like that. And then does like that. Okay. And then it starts next cycle stuff. You see how this part's a double top? Like that? That's what I'm just, you know, thinking. I'm thinking about that in my mind. Maybe we can look at other coins as well. You know what's interesting? Let's look at the Doge BTC ratio from the Donald Trump cycle. What did it do? It went here. Okay, so you had Altseason Wave 1, come back, Altseason Wave 2. If you want to know as well, look at this retracement from the top to the bottom. It came back to around 50% of the zone. So this was a lower high. This was it was a lower high, but you know, you've got to take what you can get pretty much. Okay, not everything is unfortunately going to do like the big wild moves. So maybe what happens to Doge is Doge does something like this, 2025, comes back down, everyone thinks it's over, then it has like another resurgence, double top like that. Maybe that's Doge BTC, and then it has to go for the next cycle. Okay. That's actually big numbers, by the way. That's Doge doing a 2x on Bitcoin. Remember, I'm looking at BTC ratios. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be wild. So if this plays out. So there you go. You want to know like what's repeating? We are at the end of the Bitcoin halvening year, which means there's 12 months to go. Right? That's exactly 12 months ago. But be careful with that 12 months. There's nuances in that. Right? There's old seasons that take preference. Different BTC ratio moves. I'm glad we got to explore. So, you know, I'm like, you know what? If I got to take a bet, it's a Donald Trump cycle. Let's go back to that 2016, 2017 era. What did Altseasons do? They did a big double top of it. Everyone pretty much wins. Everyone wins. Now, of course, people hold too long at the end, but you get a chance. Because, like, if you look at what happened in in this recent cycle in 2021. I'll just show you. See, Litecoin is so garbage, I can't even use it. Let's look at like Link BTC. This is why it was just horrific. Okay, this is just literally Link BTC. Actually, couldn't even make a big chart in 2021. Just absolutely pathetic. Most coins are basically topped out here, but even if you check, like even XRP BTC, it's 2021 cycles couldn't do much. AAVE BTC is a good one. Remember this is AAVE BTC ratio. So AAVE, okay, in 2021. This was Altseason Wave 1, okay? So it went up, Altseason Wave 1, comes back down, and this was Altseason Wave 2. You see that? It just does one big wave, peaks out Wave 1 here, and then Altseason Wave 2, it's here. Look at that. Look how garbage that is. Goes up, comes back down, nothing. See ya. That's why everybody got robbed. That's all they got. They did not get... Everyone was expecting this to come up and then like have another big one and come back down. Instead, look what it did. Garbage. Absolutely trash. So you had your number 2 was here when it was expected to be up here, even higher. Just everything was underwhelming, okay? Let's see what happens. Like, subscribe. Catch you soon.